Hello, good morning. Good morning and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have two blended Scotch whiskies. This is Dewar's 12-year age, produced under a royal warrant for Queen Elizabeth of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and the Bahamas, Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Beautiful brown glass bottle. Nice looking label, age 12 years, a Bacardi Ltd brand. Now the competitor is Johnnie Walker Blue Label, also produced under a royal warrant for Queen Elizabeth of Great Britain and the Cayman Islands. This blue bottle, it's got a blue glass, it's not dark blue, but it's a blue glass bottle, and it is expensive. Total Wine has Dewar's 12-year for $48.99. $48.99. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm not gonna read all the tasting notes. I want to check something out on Total Wine. Foil cap, plastic twist cap. D12, that means Dewar's 12. All right. Built-in pourer, got to watch, it'll pour too much. Johnnie Walker Blue Label. It's got the foil cover. That you have to split open with the string and the medallion. You have to pull it up. It cuts it. Then you got the plastic cap. Let me moisturize this. Okay, Total Wine has this for $250.99. $259.99. But I paid $226, and it's got this particle board kind of cork, you know, that particle press board cork. So I got it for $33.99 cheaper. $33.99 cheaper, which I was glad about. So Mathern says for $264, so for $5 more. But it's not a big chain, you know. It's not a big chain like Total Wine. Total Wine tries to beat everybody's price. I don't know if Savannah Discount's still selling Johnnie Walker Blue for $226. It might have just been a deal they made because I was buying it. Because I asked the lady at the counter, I said, "How much is that Johnnie Walker Blue?" She said, "Oh, it's $216." And then the man said, "No, it's $226. I said, $10 more. I said, "I'll buy it." Okay, they were happy. All right. So I did not pay $48.99 for the Bacardi. The Dewar's 12. I got it for $14.99. A crazily low price, right? Let's go with the regular price. $259.99 minus $48.99. No, $25.99. We got to do $750 bottle plus versus a 750 milliliter bottle. So $259.99 minus $25.99. $234 difference. Is Johnnie Walker Blue Label going to really be better? $234 better. Well, you know, you're just paying for the hype. Yeah. The Dixie Baseman says, good morning, Ron. The Blue Label is a heavy favorite, but can the price difference prove to be the difference? Burley Sullivan says, clinking the mugs, clinking the mugs, clinking the mugs. You. All right. Well, it's really hard to say that it could be worth that much money. But I figured I'd try it. I'll go to the top and get it because it'll be forever before I get there, you know, if I keep playing around with all these brands and never get in there. So I wanted to go to the top. They're both golden, so amber gold, so the appearance isn't going to matter. I got the same amount in each glass. That won't matter. You would assume Dewar's is not going to win. Now, I think Johnny Walker has that smoky nose and flavor. I know the red does, very distinct smokiness. And so that's going to be a clear-cut thing. Johnny Walker is the most popular Scotch in the world. A lot of people say they don't like Scotch because it's smoky. And they're probably commenting on what they tried, which was probably Johnny Walker red or black. So when people think Scotch, they think smoke. And it's probably coming from trying Johnny Walker. Dewar's 12 isn't going to have that. See, so if they drink Dewar's 12, they might say, oh, yeah, I like this. This is Scotch. It's not smoky. It's not peaty. You know, so there is a thought in people's mind, a generalization for it, you see. And without expanding your boundaries and checking out different types of Scotch whiskey, you're going to limit yourself. Okay, if you don't like smokiness, I understand that. It's no big deal. Drink what you like. It's like Rauch beers, those smoked beers, smoked malts. A lot of people just say, you know, I can't stand that, you know. Well, they're not obligated to like it. It's not like, well, you're not a real beer fan if you don't like smoked beers. Well, that's a ridiculous thing to say. Some people like lagers. Some people like light beer. That's their thing. They like light beer, light lager like Bud Light, Miller Lite, Natural Light, Heineken Light, and that's all they like. Nothing wrong with that. They can make a whole video channel called the Light Beer Channel where they just review light beer. I bet they'd be one of the biggest channels out there because it's popular. I don't like it because it's too thin and watery for me. All right. Now this one smells like Dewar's 12, which is that calling card of what? Honey-topped sourly bread. I don't know that, but I'm thinking that could be the case. Certainly doesn't smell like a $259.99 bottle of whiskey. But what do I know for $260 bottles of whiskey? I don't drink it much. I drank it this one time. This one bottle I bought, this expensive one. I was going to try to go up vertical, but then Walmart had Dimple Pinch from Hay Club. Dimple Pinch with the little wire basket around it for $25.99. And everybody else had it for much higher. Everybody had it for much higher. So I don't know how Walmart could sell it that cheap, but I said, watch. Let me wait around. Then when I get around to buying it, it's going to be 36 like everybody else has it. So I said, I'm not waiting stuff. And then I'm going to go back to get it. It's a lot more expensive. I don't think I'm ever going to beat that price for Dimple Pinch, $25.99. Now, is it a good product? Hey, I don't know. It's aged 15 years. You would think that's a pretty good aging on it, right? 15-year age. Let's see if it comes up. Yep, Pinch Scotch. $35.99. See, $36 is only $1 less than Mathern. Mathern's had it for $36.99. So you're not saving anything because you'd have to spend more gas money to get it. But I mean, if you live out there by by Cleary Avenue and Metairie by Veterans, well, yeah, I mean, of course, get it. You live out here in the rural, semi-rural area, you're going to pay more on common sense. Unless you go to Walmart and then you get it for $10 cheaper. Scotch whiskey isn't credited for the diversity of flavors available due to a number of factors, but it's definitely a fun journey to take. I don't know about that. They all seem kind of similar to me, like grain and bread dough, which is the barley malt, single malt whiskey, and then you get the smokiness and whatnot. But have I noticed a huge range in flavor? Well, yeah, the smoky peaty ones versus the non-smoky peaty ones, but I hadn't really noticed that great of a range of differentiation with bourbon. But I probably don't know enough about bourbon, and I probably haven't tried enough different ones to say that. Same with Canadian, and same with blended American, same with Irish, so. Okay. Smoke, not a lot of it, but it's definitely there. Now, the Johnnie Walker Blue Label uses some Scotch that's been in barrel since the 1950s. Because what happened was John Walker and Sons went around buying up old liquor company, old distilleries that went out of business. They didn't want to distill. So, well, we'll buy your barrels full of whiskey. They can demolish the building for all we care. But, oh yeah, well, they're bankrupt, so they sell it. And they just kept them. Well, we'll do something with this. Like blend it, which is what they did when they invented Johnnie Walker Blue Label about 30 years ago. And apparently they've got thousands of these old barrels from companies that went bankrupt, and they just keeping it aging there 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. I feel that way about wheat beers. I just don't enjoy them. No, I don't care for them. I mean, I try some and they're very nice and I give it a high score, but to say I ever want to drink a wheat beer, nah. But people love Blue Moon. Now, you might say, Blue Moon, oh no, that's a mass-produced wheat beer. It is so gauche. I just wouldn't. I just can't. All right, okay, fine. I've tried a lot of European wheat beers that are way more expensive, but they're not way better than Blue Moon. They might be marginally better, but in reality, are they way better? Not really. And Blue Moon makes a lot of varieties over the years, has made a lot of varieties over the years that have probably surpassed those European beers. But, people are very, status symbol oriented. You know what I'm saying? They want to be seen drinking certain things and not be seen drinking certain things. That's just the way I feel about it. I just get that. I watched a video yesterday where a guy reviewed Budweiser, and he went on and on, making fun of it, acting like it was so terrible and everything. I was like, come on. You're wearing a Budweiser muscle shirt. You probably drank it 1,000 times. And it's just like, it's one of these clickbait videos like, oh, I know a lot of people are going to watch it and I'm going to slam it. Ha ha, ha ha. Yuck, 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 haha. I'm gonna yuck it up I'm gonna ham it up for the camera and all. And he said, water tastes more like beer than this. I was like, give me a break. Water does not taste like beer, and this does not taste like water. Okay. So I thought it was a very poor video. Okay, so I think on aroma that this is the Bacardi 12 and that's the Johnnie Walker, but let's see. It is the D12. Bacardi. I keep saying Bacardi because it's owned by Bacardi, but they kind of like independent operation. It's a subsidiary. As long as the money's coming in, I'm sure Bacardi doesn't care what their internal operations are. You're not one of the cool kids, Ron. No. I wish I was, but I'm not. And all right. So now let's go with the taste. I know what they are on aroma only. Honey top sour leaf bread, little candy, like rock candy that you get with whiskey on the blue. Oh, he says, oh, the Blue Moon batches are hilarious. It's pretty good for the type of beer and the cost. Yeah. And these people that love to be on the internet talking dog on Budweiser and Blue Moon. And you see, when I say that, people will say, oh, why do you feel compelled to defend those brands? I don't feel compelled to defend the brands at all. I don't even care about the brands. It's just the whole approach is ridiculous, But they want to be out on the internet stunting and talking bad about these brands. Well, what you need to do if you're really that much of an expert is do the blind taste test where you don't know which one is Blue Moon, you don't know which one is Budweiser or whatever. Let's see how much of an expert you really are. Maybe you are. You might be a profound beer scholar or whatever. But just to make a sloppy video where you bash a product and you don't say much, that's trash video to me. Now, did I stay up all night worrying about it, laying in bed thinking, man, I just can't believe that guy did that. I just can't get over it. Obviously, I didn't give it much of a thought. Ha 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 ha. The differences here are so extreme. It's so extreme. The Johnnie Walker Blue Label, it has deep smokiness, top to bottom. Now the red, the smokiness comes in mid-sip. Like there's three parts of the sip, you know what I mean? Like the beginning, the middle, and the end. Well, the red label, the smokiness comes in the middle and it goes out at the end. So it leaves you with the smoky flavor. But the Johnnie Walker Blue, it's just a smoke beginning, middle, and end. Now you say, well, what Isla whiskey are they using? Is it Kalila, or we don't know. It could be one of those brands. Like I said, it could be one of those that went bankrupt in 1952. I don't know. I know this much. This is smooth. Like there's no harsh grain whiskey flavors. There is grain whiskey in it. You can pick up grain whiskey, which is grain spirits. You know what I'm saying? Probably wheat, or it could be corn. Doesn't matter. It could be rice for all I know. But it seemed like it's high quality all around. And then the single malts. Is it a higher percentage of single malt? Could it be like 40, 60? You know, could it be 60% grain whiskey and 40% single malt? Could be. You don't know. They don't disclose it. I know with the Black Bush from Bushmills, it's 20/80, meaning it's only 20% grain whiskey and the other 80% is single malt, barley malt, Irish whiskey. That's why the Black Bush is so much more luxurious and flavorful, and it is worth the $30. Good morning, Ron. Oh, I can't see without my glasses. The pretentiousness of the craft beer so-called community is off the charts. It's just beer, people. Yeah, I agree. These people are, I don't know what they think. Like, oh, I'm on YouTube. I must be famous like Dennis Hopper or Jackie Gleason. No, you're not. That's why I enjoy his videos, Burley. He doesn't gimmick everything up. Even if I disagree, Ron still makes you think. As Bishop Williamson says, if you don't think, you will sink. If you don't think, you will sink. Good morning, Ron. JW Blue is really, really good. I had last week with my father-in-law, and it was plain awesome. Pan and Ming says, yeah, it's great. If you find yourself agreeing with those around you 100% of the time, you're in a cult. Yeah. I was in a cult. I didn't know it. But they were like, one of these internet groups, you know, it's like, what? You can, oh, hey, gang, everybody can just have a good time here as long as you 100% agree with everything we say. And I was like, well, started thinking, I'm not agreeing with everything these people say. So then I told them, I said, I don't agree with that. I wasn't ugly. I just said, I don't agree with that. You know, it's just your opinion. And then they blocked me and kicked me out. And then they were claiming, I know they blocked me and kicked me out because I was getting feedback from other people that were still in the group that were sending me everything. And they were saying, copying and pasting everything like, oh, I did not want to kick him out, but he forced me to. It's like, I didn't force you to do anything. But, you know, so a lot of people started defecting and coming telling me stuff like, those people are crazy, you know. I was in a political cult, like in real life. And well, I don't think there's so much of a cult anymore, but the Mormons of all people were trying to infiltrate that group, and they were about to take it over, but I quit because I said, this is a cult, like if you don't agree with them, they want to ban you and make you resign. And I was like, well, I don't agree with everything y'all say. I have my own mind, A lot of these political social media groups are cult-like. That guy Jones that used to go his followers were like a cult. Like you could never criticize him or they'd go crazy, How dare you criticize our great leader and all that? I'm like, I can say whatever I want to say. I don't need to buy his DVDs and go to his conferences. And plus, he doesn't present himself very well on television. He acts like a nut. I'm supposed to believe, he like undermines the whole movement. If you ask me, maybe he's planted. I don't know, but I told my friend that years ago when he was on there with Piers Morgan on a cable news, acting crazy. Like I said, he must be on drugs. Like, does this guy take a lot of medicine? He doesn't seem very healthy. Like he needs to get in shape. And my friend was like, well, that was not a good night for him. I was like, yeah, it was a terrible night for him. And I said, if that's my first exposure to this character, I don't want to be exposed to him. His presentation is not good, but they got followers. Hey, look, I don't know if it's worth $259.99. I'm not going to say that. And I'm not going to be running around buying this all the time. On the other hand, anytime I put Johnny Walker Blue Label in a taste challenge, it blows up the competition, okay? There isn't a competition. And you never, like you just smell them and you say, well, that's the Blue Label. So is it overrated? Maybe. I don't know how it's overrated because most of the reviews I see, people are bashing it, talking about it's overrated. I bought it and it ain't that good, and and all of that. But I mean, I don't know if it's overrated. It's overpriced, but then you're buying the experience and all of that. People pay a lot of money for cars and trucks. Look what I bought. It's $70,000. And I'm like, well, that's good. But in 10 years, it's still not going to be worth anything. And all the equipment's going to be breaking on it and everything. And then you're not going to like it. You're going to be looking at it in your yard. I see them. They're sitting on their front porch looking at their truck. They got to wash it all the time. But then the newness wears off, like the excitement wears off. And then their King Ranch is not their baby like it was. So these things, like, it's like excessive, But $250 bottle of Scotch is a lot less than a $70,000 truck that's going to become boring after a while. That's why I was glad to pay for the basic, it wasn't a basic, but a more basic Ram 1500, which was a $31,000 sticker price. Does it have a lot of options on it? No, it has some. But I didn't want something that had every trinket on it. How do you preserve your open bottles of Scotch whiskeys? In your opinion, experience, what's the best way? Oh, I just have them on the shelf, standing upright. That's it. Then I'll tip them over sometime and moisturize the cork. But otherwise, there's no special preservative protocol I follow because they seem to hold up fine. Beer, no, but Scotch, yeah. Is the Dewar's good? Yeah, it's good. Is it worth $48.99? Yeah. But compared to Johnny Walker, I'm drinking it now compared to Johnny Walker Blue Label. It tastes like paper, It's funny how, like, on its own, it's like, oh, this has a lot of interesting qualities. Honey top, sour leaf, wheat, white bread, maybe even some wheat bread and all these complex characters. But now I'm drinking it compared to next to Johnny Walker Blue Label. It tastes like paper. It tastes like loose leaf paper. That's strange, huh? I don't think I get tired of this too quickly. Most Holy Family Monastery actually said they thought he was possessed because he gets a lot of good information. He also puts out obvious BS like the lamp in the dark and anti-Catholic BS. Talking about Mr. Jones. Yeah. he seemed like he's possessed by something. You know what I mean? Maybe his own cuckoo-ness, you know? How do you... Oh, okay, if you find your... All right, we talked about that. All right, so anyway, yeah, I was never impressed by that guy. And other people were, you know, it's like, oh, I'm under his spell. And I would just say, he never says anything. He just goes on and on about, oh, and it's true. And then they had this conference, and then that diabolical scheme, and then they had this meeting and this secret meeting and all of this and everything. And I said, well, where do you get all this from? Oh, well, it's true. If you don't believe that, you're a communist, obviously. I was like, okay. I would get on the air with him in a minute. And he'd probably walk off the show, and I'd be sitting there like, I told you, he never even heard of this, you know. But I'd just be talking about basic things. He's all this wild fantasy stuff. I may as well just listen to Edgar Casey and Hal Lindsey and L. Ron Hubbard and, you know, all of those people than to listen to him. People say you worked up about him, huh? No, I'm not. I'm just using that as an example. There's a lot of other examples, you know. Like that guy Milo. I said, well, he's an obvious plant. And people were like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I said, you can't tell. I mean, there's so many factors. I could go through them. There's so many factors that he's an agent provocateur. I mean, that's kind of easy to see, but I don't know why y'all can't see that. How many different types of whiskeys from Johnnie Walker you have tried? Only the red and the blue, but I'm planning to try more. Any plans to try the black? Oh yeah, all of them. I'm planning to try the black, double black, green, platinum, gold, everything. Yeah. So I'm just getting started. I used to listen to his followers I used to listen, but his followers are crazy. He actually bought Fatima. He thought Fatima was a laser light show. Fatima was a laser light show in 1917, huh? Okay. Yeah, I had interaction with some of his followers, and I would just like say, well, I don't think he's right about this. And they would go crazy, you know, flip out and scream and holler and act crazy, and their eyes would be wild, you know, and I'm thinking, oh, okay. I've run across these type of people before. So it's like talking to people that sell Amway, you know, you can't communicate with them. All right, anyway, thanks for watching this video production. Johnnie Walker Blue Label for the easy win.